All right, I'd like to start off by saying Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. All praises to the Most High. Tonight's lesson, we're going to go into some information. It's going to be called Gun Control in America. Gun Control in America. So, based off of the lesson we did the other night, we talked about how the government is getting ready to implement martial law. All right. And through that, there's some things that have to happen before they can implement martial law. We talked about in the last lesson how we read an article on how the Pope came out and said this will be the last Christmas. And then we based a lot of information off of that in Wednesday's lesson. So tonight's lesson, we'll piggyback and do some information on gun control in America. Obama has been speaking a lot over the last year or so how he wants to get the guns off the street. A lot of different things that have been going on, a lot of different actions that have happened over the last couple of years that's got him pushing that agenda. All right. We all know this is Obama's last year. So due to this being his last year, a lot of different things are about to happen. All right. So we're going to break it all down tonight. At least the gun part, the gun control part, on what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, and what we're to do when that time comes. All right. So let's start off in Ephesians 6:11. Ephesians 6:11. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11. And it reads, "Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil."
So it's telling us it's time to put on the armor. It's time to get ready. The wiles of the devil, they are coming with everything. Satan is about to break out everything that he has against the people of this world, and especially against the true people of the Bible, which are the Israelites. So it tells you to put on the whole armor, not just a little. So that's going to be the key tonight, the whole armor. We're going to break down what that whole armor is. So don't put on just a little of it, because if you put on just part of the armor, then you won't be able to stand the wiles of the devil. Withstand it. Verse 12.
Verse 12. And it reads, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand."
So we need the armor of the Most High to withstand the evil day. The evil day is here, you guys. All right, and it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out that that time is now. Everything around you is evil. All right, and where is the evil coming from? From the rulers of the darkness of this world. That's what verse 12 says. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood," so don't worry about each other, "but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness." So we are now in a spiritual battle. That's what we're in. It's the spiritual battle, but you also have to protect who you are with the armor of the Most High. You have to put on the armor of the Most High. All right. So let's get into it. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 13, verse 19. 1 Samuel 13 and 19. So now that we know in the evil day to withstand Satan, we have to put on the armor of the Most High. Now we're going to go into some scriptures to show what we are to do once they come in and try to implement martial law. Listen, it's coming. Whether you want it to come or not, martial law is here. All right? Obama, we went over Wednesday night how Obama's already pushed the buttons on that executive order. He put in the Stafford Act, all right, for disaster and relief to get FEMA involved. So it's here. 1 Samuel 13 and 19. Go ahead.
We're in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 13, verse 19. And it reads, Now there was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel. For the Philistines said, Lest the Hebrews make them swords or spears.
So it tells you right here there was no smith, there was no blacksmith found throughout all the land of Israel. And the Philistines said, Lest the Hebrews make them swords and spears. So the Philistines, which was the enemy against Israel, said, Lest the Hebrews make them swords and spears, talking about weapons. So they're trying to find a way to keep the Israelites without weapons. Verse 20.
Verse 20. But all the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen every man his share and his coulter and his axe and his mallet. Yet they had a file for the mallets and for the coulters and for the forks and for the axes and to sharpen the goads.
Mm-hmm.
So it came to pass in the day of battle that there were neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any of the people that were with Saul and Jonathan. But with Saul and with Jonathan, his sons, was there found.
So it tells you, all right, in verse 19, the Philistines said, At least the Hebrews make them swords and spears. All right, so they were saying, we don't want them to have weapons. And then it tells you in verse 22, when the day of battle came to pass, there were no swords, no spears, or anything in the hands of the people. So the Philistines found a way before the battle to take the weapons away from Israel. And that's the same thing that's going to happen in this day and time. Before the battle starts, the government is going to come in and take the weapons from you and I to where now their battle is much easier. There's no resistance. If you and I have guns and weapons to fight, and if the government says, hey, we're going to put martial law on the streets, it's going to be a rough war for them. So now they have to put in these laws in place to where they can come in and take the guns and your weapons, so when they do push martial law, it's an easy battle for them. And that's what we just read right here in the battle, to where it says the Philistines did that to Israel. They took their weapons from them, which was their spears and their swords, to where when the day of battle came, they had nothing to resist. 1 Samuel 14 and 23. So when we read the stories of the Bible, you have to understand, we have to relay them to what's going to happen here in our day and age. It's prophecy. All right? Go ahead.
We're in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 14, verse 23. And it reads, So the Most High saved Israel that day, and the battle passed over unto Bethaven.
So the purpose of the gun control or the sword control is not to prevent crime. And that's what we have to understand. The government tries to tell you, oh, we got to get the guns off the street to prevent crime. No, it's not. But it's for their ensurement to make sure Israel cannot resist the takeover. All right? But you have to understand, in the day of the battle, we will still resist. Why? Because Ahai is on our side. So that's what we just read in verse 23, where it says, So the Most High saved Israel that day, and the battle passed over. So as long as we stay close to the Most High and keep him on our side, no matter what happens in this battle, and we keep him close to us, we're going to win the battle. All right? So what we're going to talk about tonight has been a touchy subject somewhat, And people have asked me over the couple of years, what do I think about this related to the scriptures? And I've always kind of been somewhat in between because, I wasn't fully learned on what the scriptures were saying about this. And anybody that knows me knows that's what I'll do. I'm not that type of person to where if you ask me something, I'm not going to act like I know it. I'll tell you straight up and say, hey, you know what? I haven't came across that just yet. All right. So they want our guns. All right. And like I said, they can care less about crime or saving lives. It's all about disarming the population. All right. And once they disarm the population, that's the first step towards martial law. All right. Let's go to an article I want you guys to read. Go to Google. And go to Google and put in Hitler really did take the guns before throwing Jews. Hitler really did take the guns before throwing Jews. I'll give everybody about 30 seconds to find that. I'll say it again. Hitler really did take the guns before throwing Jews. Y'all get that?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and read that, brother.
It says, if you read the 1938 Nazi gun laws closely and compare them to earlier 1928 Wedemeyer gun legislation as a straightforward exercise of statutory interpretation, several conclusions become clear. First, with regard to the possession and carrying of firearms, the Nazi regime relaxed the gun laws that were in place in Germany at the time the Nazis seized power.
So it tells you the moment Hitler and them took over, they relaxed the gun laws. Isn't that what Obama did a few years ago when he took over? You have to realize when Obama took over a few years ago, the gun laws became really relaxed. You could when our governor was what's her name, Jan Napolitano. Remember when she passed a law to where now you can go into bars and go into anywhere with your weapon as long as it was shown, as long as the weapon was on your hip, you can now go into any establishment if they did not have the no gun policy on their door. But before that, before Obama came into office, you couldn't do that. But Obama came into office, they passed a law to where you can carry your gun around, you can do this. That's why you start seeing more people with their guns. You can go into a business establishment with your guns. So they relaxed the gun law when Obama took over. Same thing that Hitler did when he took over. Read the rest.
It says, second, the Nazi gun laws of 1938 specifically banned Jewish persons from obtaining a license to manufacture firearms or ammunition.
Oh, my fault, you guys. In this article, you have to go down a couple of paragraphs. Yeah, my fault. I forgot I skipped the first two paragraphs. You have to go down to where it says, if you read the 1938 Nazi gun laws. So it's like 3 paragraphs down. All right. Read that again, the Nazi gun laws of 1938.
It says, the Nazi gun laws of 1938 specifically banned Jewish persons from obtaining a license to manufacture firearms or ammunition. Third, approximately 8 months after enacting the 1938 Nazi gun laws, Hitler imposed regulations prohibiting Jewish persons from possessing any dangerous weapons, including firearms.
So once they put the gun law into place, Then 8 months later, they say, you know what? That's not enough. We need to make sure they can't carry knives. We need to make sure they can't carry brass knuckles. Nothing. No weapon at all. No type of dangerous weapon in their possession, including guns. So first they're going to take the guns off the streets, and then they're going to come in and take any type of dangerous weapon off the street. And once they do that, then they will implement martial law. Now they can come in and take you down, and there's not much resistance because they've taken all the dangerous weapons off the street. But first they came in and relaxed the gun laws and made everybody comfortable and made everybody think everything was good. And then next you know, kabang. And that's the same thing we see happening with the Obama administration. He did the same thing. They relaxed the gun law a few years ago when he first came in, and now watch, they're about to come in with the kabang. Read that last part.
It says, the point was, Hitler had it in for the Jews. So he disarmed them before carrying out his murderous campaign against them. And, unable to resist, millions died.
Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 1:9. So it tells you Hitler disarmed the people before he brought in the murderous campaign against the people. So hey, that the same thing that he did is the same thing that they're about to do. All right, and that's the reason why I want to go over it tonight, because they are getting ready to pass. Well, it's already been passed. They are getting ready to take the guns. Obama's been talking about it. He's been talking about it. He's been talking about it. People are like, oh, that ain't gonna never happen in America. This the wild, wild west. This and this and that. They are getting ready to take them, and they're taking them for a reason, so they can bring in a murderous campaign. Go ahead and read that.
We're in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. And it reads, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
There is nothing new under the sun. The thing that had been, so the thing that happened in the past, it is that which shall be. The thing that happened in the past will happen again. All right? And that's why it says there's nothing new under the sun. So what Hitler did back in the 1930s is about to happen again. They're just following the blueprint on what he did. Verse 10.
Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new.
The question is, hey, is this new what Obama's doing? Let's see. Go ahead.
It had been already of old time.
No, this is not new what Obama is doing. This has already happened in the old days. Go ahead.
Which was before us.
Which was before you and I. So this has happened generations ago, what Obama's about to do with the gun control. He's just following the same blueprint that Hitler and all the other guys at his time did to the people when it was time to take over. We're just in a different time frame, a different generation. So the world has gotten out of their hands. The control of the population of the people have gotten out of their hands. So now they say, now it's time to take back over and control this place and get it back under to what we want. In order for them to do that, they have to put in the gun control law and then come through and murder off the people that they don't like. The people that don't follow what they want. So they're going to bring in martial law. They're going to take the guns, bring in martial law, send people to FEMA camps, give you RFID chips. And if you don't want to do that, and if you don't want to abide by their rules, they'll kill you. They'll kill you. Simple as that. It's called a New World Order. Everybody under the order of the government. You can't believe in what you want to believe in. You can't follow what you believe in. You have to do exactly what they say. All the way down to they will have a diet for you. What you eat. Why do you think Obama, the whole time that Obama's been in office, what is Michelle Obama? What's been her main agenda? Can anybody tell me?
So, feeding healthy children in school.
Fixing the diet in the schools for kids. And everybody's like, oh, Michelle Obama's doing so good with the kids. No. It's a mind game. She's already getting it in place to where now they're going to be able to tell you and I and your kids what you can and what you can't eat. They have a law in New York to where you can't even buy a Coke no more over, what, 20 ounces or so? You got to understand what's happening here. They are already controlling what you can put in your body and what you can't. Go to Wikipedia. I mean, how can you tell a grown man that he can't go get a 44-ounce Coke? No, for real though. Like, oh, that's beyond crazy. Go to Wikipedia and put in Nazi gun control theory. NAZI gun control theory. Wikipedia Nazi gun control theory. And this is going to piggyback off of what we were just talking about with the gun control with Hitler in that day. Wikipedia Nazi gun control theory. All right, go ahead.
We're in Wikipedia, and there's a Nazi gun control theory, and it reads, the Nazi gun control theory is counterfactual history, which is a form of history that attempts to answer what if questions, known as counterfactuals. According to this theory, the gun regulations enforced by the rights rendered victims of the Holocaust weaker to such an extent that they could have more effectively resisted oppression if they had been armed or better armed.
Mm-hmm.
The theory is
Primarily.
The theory is prevalent and primarily used within U.S. gun politics.
So it tells you that this theory is almost in comparison within the U.S. gun politics. So the same thing that we're hearing right now with the Obama administration with the gun politics is the same theory as the Nazi gun control theory. That's what it's telling you right here. Nothing new under the sun. So the same thing that Obama's trying to implement with his gun control laws is the same thing Hitler did. Read the rest.
It says, questions about its validity and about the motives behind its inception have been raised by scholars. Proponents in the United States have used it as part of a security against tyranny argument, while opponents have referred to it as a form of reductio ad Hitlerism. So people, the argument that people have that know something is arguing, hey, is this some type of referred form to the Hitlerism? This is what they call it, Hitlerism. Like telling you that this is based off of the Hitler's blueprint. All right. Skip down to where it says background and formation. Go ahead. It reads, few citizens owned or were entitled to own firearms in Germany in the 1930s.
So through the gun laws, the Nazi gun laws, there was only a few citizens that were entitled to own firearms. See, right now in America, if you're in the right state, you can own a gun. But once that gun law happened, only certain individuals will be able to own a firearm. Go ahead.
It says, the Weimar Republic had strict gun control laws. When the Third Reich gained power, some aspects of gun regulation were loosened, such as allowing ownership for Nazi party members and military. The laws were harshened in other ways. Nazi laws disarmed unreliable persons, especially Jews, but relaxed restrictions for ordinary German citizens.
So it tells you that once the gun laws happen, first off the rip, they will take the guns, especially from the Jews, the Israelites. Israelites will be the first people that's going to get their guns taken away from them. They're going to find a way to make sure you don't pass the background check, because now Obama just passed a law to where you got to pass an extensive background check in order to purchase a gun or to carry one. And guess what? 80 to 85% of so-called blacks in America and Mexicans have what? Felonies or some type of probation or something where that's going to disqualify them right now. All right. So let's talk about this background check. Let me give you one more article. Let's talk about this background check. Go to Google and put in Tea Party, all one word, teaparty.org, confirmed executive gun control. Go to teaparty.org, confirmed executive gun control. Did y'all get that?
Yeah.
teaparty.org, confirmed executive is EXECUTIVE gun control. teaparty.org, confirmed executive gun control. Go ahead and read that.
It says, on December 28th, Bloomberg Business explained what form Obama's executive action on gun control will take and predicted it will come soon after New Year's Day.
Read it again so everybody can make sure everybody's getting this clear. Read that again.
It says, on December 28th,
That was just a couple of days ago. Go ahead.
Bloomberg Business explained what form Obama's executive action on gun control will take and predicted it will come soon after New Year's Day.
So Bloomberg's business says, hey, we want to inform the people and explain to you that this executive action for gun control for what Obama's just passed is about to take action soon after New Year's Day. That was yesterday. And guess what? I read an article today in Texas. Already today in Texas, this is in effect. And in California. Texas and California, this is already into effect. To where now, say the police, they don't like something I did outside. They can go get a warrant from the judge saying whatever, and then come knock on my door and take my gun. It's already in effect in Texas and California. Let me explain it again. I can be in the mall, and the police can just not like who I am for whatever reason, discriminate against me, go to court, get a warrant, come knock on my door and say, Mr. Love, hand over your gun. And I'll be like, for what? I ain't do nothing. Give me your gun. Started yesterday in Texas and California. So Bloomberg Business tells you right here that this executive action on gun control is about to soon happen New Year's Day everywhere. So if it's already, and Texas and California are two of your biggest states. So they start in those areas first. All right, go ahead.
It says, Breitbart News previously reported that the executive gun control was expected to be an expansion of background checks to cover gun shows or to cover more private sales by changing the legal language relating to private gun owners who sell firearms from their personal collection. The way Americans have been doing since 1791.
So now I won't be able to go buy a gun from Brother KG. KG said, hey man, I got a pistol. I'm selling for $200. You want it? I got the papers on everything. It's good. I wouldn't even be able to buy it from him because now I'm going to have to go through the government and do this extensive background check so they can find something and say, no, you can't get it. Or whatever reason they won't. And of course, they're going to deny it. I promise you. You can have a squeaky clean record when it comes to your background, and they're going to find a reason to deny it. Go ahead.
It reads, Bloomberg Business believes Obama has settled on going around Congress to expand background checks by changing the way current laws cover private gun owners who sell guns.
So they said, telling you right here, Obama's doing whatever he can to make sure you and I fail on this background check. He's going around Congress instead of doing it the way he should do it. And then Congress is going to say, nah, that dude ain't done nothing wrong. He can get a gun. No, Obama's going to do it in a way to where he's going to go behind them and make sure you don't get it. Go ahead.
This approach allows Obama to kill two birds with one stone by expanding background checks to cover more private sales in a way that will expand checks to private sellers at gun shows. It says, would such an expansion have stopped high-profile shootings like Colorado Springs Halloween attack, the Umpqua Community College attack, the August on-air shooting of a reporter and cameraman in Virginia, or the Lafayette Theater attack? No, because all gunmen and alleged gunmen in these instances pass background checks for their firearms. Would such an expansion have stopped the San Bernardino terror attack? No, because Saeed Farouk and Tashfeen Malik acquired their guns legally, i.e. background checks, and their rifles were acquired legally by Enrique Marquez.
So it tells you these background checks don't have nothing to do with you and I. Because these people that are doing these killings pass the background check squeaky clean. So it don't got nothing to do with the background checks and keeping the guns out of the wrong people's hands. This is basically telling you all these attacks we see, these individuals would have passed the background check squeaky clean. But people like you and I, no, you can't have a gun. All right? Go ahead.
Yet Obama is determined to expand background checks. Bloomberg Business reports that Obama has let it be known from this holiday retreat in Hawaii through unidentified advisors that soon after New Year's Day, he will circumvent Congress via executive action.
So it tells you after his holiday in Hawaii, and he just went to Hawaii for the holidays, when he gets back, soon after New Year's Day, he will put this in action. And that's where we're at right now. So you guys, get ready over the next couple of weeks to a month. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. All right? Let's go to Luke 22 and 35. So now that we see the evil tendencies in our government, what they have up their sleeves, we need to make our beliefs clear with the Most High and stand strong with Him. Let me say that again. Now that we see the evil tendencies that the government is about to bring in, we need to make our beliefs clear. You can't be on one side of the fence and on the other side. No, now that we see the government is about to do this, you need to stand with a higher, tall and firm right now. No second guessing. Because that way when this goes down the spiritual battle, you're on the right side. You have made your choice. Go ahead.
We're in the book of St. Luke, chapter 2, verse 22, verse 35. And it reads, And he said unto them, When I sent you without purse and script and shoes, lack ye anything? And they said, Nothing.
So the Messiah is talking to the disciples. And he says, when I sent you without purse, without script. Script is a wallet. Purse is like a wallet. So a pouch. So these two things is considering something that's holding your money. And he's talking to the disciples, when I sent you without purse or script and shoes, lack ye nothing. That means nothing. That stuff means nothing. And they said nothing. Verse 36.
Verse 36. And he said, and then said he unto them, But now, he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one.
The Messiah told the disciples that if you do got a pouch with some money in it or a wallet with some money in it, you need to take it and with your garment and sell it and buy you a sword, which is a weapon. He said, go get a weapon. Verse 36, Luke chapter 22 says, then said he unto them, but now he that had a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that had not and had no sword, so him that has no weapon, let him sell that stuff, his garment, and go buy a weapon. So the Messiah is telling the disciples to go get a weapon, go get a sword. Why? Because it is our duty to protect ourselves. It is our duty to protect our families. All right? You have to protect who you are according to these scriptures. All right? Let's go to 1 Timothy 5 and 8. 1 Timothy 5 and 8. So now that we know the Messiah says, go get a weapon. Let's see what we need the weapon for. 1 Timothy 5 and 8, go ahead.
We're in the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5, verse 8, and it reads, but if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith, and is worse than an infidel.
So it tells you, but if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his house, he had denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Infidel is a heathen. So it tells you right here in the scripts that a man is to provide for his household. Okay? There's no excuses. And if he has kids, he's to provide for the kids. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own, he is a heathen. Okay? But when it says provide, it's also talking about protection, security. All right? So you provide food and clothing for them, and then you provide protection and security. Okay? Let's go to Exodus 22 and 2. So now that we know the Messiah says, hey, get a weapon, doesn't mean you do ignorance with it. We'll break down what and how you're supposed to be with the weapon. All right? But it is used, the weapon is supposed to be used for protection. Exodus 22 and 2. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 2. And it reads, if a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall be no blood, there shall no blood be shed for him. Verse 3. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him. For he should make full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft.
All right. So it tells you if a thief found breaking up in your house and be smitten that he died, there shall no blood be shed for him. All right. So America teaches you, like right now, according to America's law, if you at home, it's nighttime, and if someone breaks in your house, and you don't know what's going on with this dude, you don't know if he has a gun, you don't know if he has a knife, you don't know what his intention is, and you kill him, you go to jail. Remember, gonna say, well, did you feel threatened? Yes. Did he have a weapon? Well, I couldn't tell. And if they don't find no weapon on him and you kill him, you go to jail. But the scripts say, hey, if a thief be found in your house and then he's smitten, now if you can see this guy in your house and he has no bad intentions, he's just really in there trying to steal something and get away, there's no reason to kill him. But according to the scripts, if someone breaks in your house and you feel threatened and it looks like he's about to harm you and your family, you're to handle your business. You don't have to kill him, but you can't shoot him in the area to where it can wound him until you get people to come help. All right? Let's go to verse 4.
In the book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 4, and it reads, if the thief be certainly found in his hand alive, if the theft be found certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double.
So the thief himself will have his own punishment. Okay? So if somebody breaks your house, I'm not telling you to shoot him right off the bat, boom, boom. But if you feel threatened and it looks like he has a weapon, it looks like something's going on, you take care of him now, regardless if you see the weapon or not. If he's coming to choke your wife or choke you out, you take care of him now. You can shoot him in the leg, shoot him in both legs. Alright? But brothers, you have to protect what is yours, and not only protect them, but provide for them also. Go to Matthew 7 and 11. So you have to provide for your kids. Your kids need food, get the food. Kids need clothes, get the clothes. Alright? Kids need a gift every now and then, a toy or two to keep them contained. Get them some toys. Kids shouldn't want to have to go without. They need something to play with. They need some gifts or something. We just don't follow in the holidays and giving gifts, but you got all year long to where you can show love to your family and your kids. Go ahead.
We're in the book of St. Matthew, chapter 7, verse 11. And it reads, if ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets.
So if ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? So when you do good to your family and your kids, then the Most High is going to do good to you. So you take care of your kids and your family, Ahia will take care of you. He will provide for you. All right? But like I said earlier, providing for your family involves much more than just money. All right? It includes the basic needs. All right? Not only should they have plenty to eat, but you must provide safety and security, like I said earlier. All right? And we all know in the Ten Commandments it says, thou shalt not kill. We all know that. And see, a lot of people get it twisted. Yeah, the commandment says, thou shalt not kill. But when you kill somebody, that's murder. Okay? But in this case, what we're talking about tonight, is talking about self-defense, which is a different story. So the government is getting ready for martial law, and they're getting ready to implement it and bring it on you to persecute you. All right? And now that they're coming to persecute you, you need to have your weapons in order to have security for you and your family. So if you was to take somebody out, it's not murder, it's self-defense. So you're not breaking the commandment. Go to John 15 and 20. And that's the whole reason why they're bringing in martial law, is to persecute you and I. So when the government comes in trying to take your guns and trying to slam your wife on her head and telling you to get down with a pistol at your neck, Most High says you're to protect yourself. John 15 and 20. Go ahead.
We're in the book of St. John, chapter 15, verse 20, and it reads, remember the word that I said unto you. The servant is not greater than his Lord, or the servant is not greater than his power. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my sayings, they will keep yours also.
So the Messiah says, remember the word that I say unto you. The servant is not greater than the power. So we're not greater than him. He said, hey, if they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. And we all know they persecuted the Messiah. So guess what? Our time is coming too, to where they're going to persecute us. And that's what the government is on their way to do with martial law. And the word persecuted, given the word persecuted in the Webster Dictionary.
The definition of persecuted is harassed by troubles or punishment unjustly inflicted.
Read it again.
Harassed by troubles or punishments unjustly afflicted, particularly for religious opinions.
So Israel, you will be hit the hardest. When it comes to this martial law and being persecuted, Israel will be hit the hardest. Why? Because of our beliefs. We no longer follow their program doctrine through their religions. See, if you're a Christian or a Catholic or something, when this time comes, you're one of their controlled puppets, so it won't be as tough. But people like us, who's completely pulled away from that world, completely from their religions, completely from the slave man's authority, slave master's authority, they're going to persecute us the hardest. Because the word persecuted means harassed by troubles or punishment unjustly inflicted, particularly for religious beliefs. All right? So they're getting ready for martial law to persecute you and I, and you better get ready. You better get ready. 1 Samuel 25 and 13. So we're talking about both sides tonight. We're talking about how they're about to implement martial law, and then we're talking about what we're to do when this time comes. And we just read where the Messiah says, hey, you go sell your garment and get you a sword, which relates to weapon. 1 Samuel 25 and 13. Go ahead.
We're in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 25, verse 13. And it reads, and David said unto his men, gird ye on every man his sword.
David said to his soldiers, get your weapons. All right? Every man, get your sword. Go ahead.
And they girded on every man his sword. And David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men and 200 abode by the stuff.
All right, so when it was time for them to go to battle, David says, grab your weapons. So same with us, Israel. When it's time for us to get busy with these guys, we're going to have to grab our weapons. When we hit the wilderness, and they come looking for us, we're going to have to grab our weapons. We can't just let them come in and just do whatever they want to us. But let me show you what's going to happen if you're not prepared with weapons. Go to Judges 5 and 8. Let me show you what's going to happen. Now, I'm not telling you to go out tomorrow and buy 10 pistols and buy the pawn shop out of ammunition. I'm not telling you to do this. Grenades and stuff, you know. I'm not telling you to do this, but I am telling you though the scripts tell us to get prepared so we can protect ourselves.
No RPGs.
No RPGs, man. We don't need all that. We don't need no pyromaniacs around this country or anything like that. Judges 5 and 8. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 8, and it reads, they chose new gods. Then was war in the gates.
So once these people chose new gods and wasn't following after the Most High, who I am that I am, then war was in the gates. So the same thing we see here in America. These people follow after their gods. They don't follow after the Most High. So now war is within the gates. Go ahead.
And it reads.
You can read it again.
Okay. We're in the book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 8. It reads, "They chose new gods. Then was war in the gates. Was there a shield or spear seen among 40,000 in Israel? My heart is toward the governors of Israel. They offered themselves willingly among the people. Bless ye the Most High."
So since Israel, still to this day, has chosen to follow after their gods, they will be punished by an invasion of the government. And what's that invasion? Martial law. Martial law is going to come in and take over because the people have already chosen to follow after these people. And then it asks in verse 8, was there a shield or spear seen among 40,000 in Israel? Question. So it lets you know Israel had put away their weapons because they had trusted in the government. They trusted in the government through these religions and through their gods for protection. So, we trust in the government enough to where in these religions and Jesus, the government's going to protect us in time of harm. So Israel and everybody put away their weapons. And then they had no weapons in the time of the invasion. And that's what's going to happen right now. So many people don't even carry firearms or any type of weapons no more because they just feel so comfortable and safe when it comes to the government. That's what the question was in verse 8. Was there a shield or spear seen among 40,000 in Israel? Question mark. Where were their weapons at? There were no weapons seen when it was time for battle. When it was time for the invasion. Psalms 144:1. So like we already read, there is nothing new under the sun. It's going to be like this big time this time around also, but we can't be a part of that crew. We have to be prepared. We have to be ready. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Psalms, chapter 144, verse 1. And it reads, a song of David. Blessed be the Most High, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war, and my fingers to fight.
So David said, blessed be the Most High, my strength, which teaches my hands to war, teaches me how to use my hands to fight in battle, and my fingers to fight. All right? But you will still need favor from the Most High. Even though the Most High gives you the wits to battle, even though he teaches your hands and your fingers how to fight in battle, you're still going to need favor from the Most High to win in these battles. We're not going to be able to just come in these battles and just take them down with guns and with our hands. No, we're still going to need favor from the Most High to get us through these battles. All right? Same as in the stories of the Maccabees when we read the Feast of Dedication. Those type of battles we're going to be in, we're going to need the Most High. Go to Psalms 44:3. So just because you got all these guns and the Most High shows you how to use them and all that, doesn't mean the guns are going to get you through. We're still going to need the favor from Ahia. He needs to be on our side to get us through these battles. Go ahead and read it.
We're in the book of Psalms, chapter 44, verse 3. And it reads, for they got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them. But thy right hand and thine arm and the light of thy countenance, because thou hast a favor unto them. Thou art my king, O Ahia. Command deliverances for Jacob. Through thee will we push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me.
Neither shall my sword save me. So just because you got weapons and stuff, the weapons is not going to save you when it comes to the battle. Go ahead.
Verse 7. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and put them to shame that hated us.
So it tells you that the Most High is going to deliver us through these battles, not your weapon. Your weapon is just for protection. You can't trust in your weapon to save you. You must keep the strong faith in the higher. The weapon is just for protection. It's just to stop that first couple of people from coming you. But the full-blown battle, the weapon is not going to save you. You got to have that faith in the higher and be walking in his ways so he can get you through the whole battle. All right? So I don't want nobody to be thinking, oh, I'm going to go buy all these weapons and everything, and it's going to get me through every battle I fight because the Bible tells me to grab a weapon. No, I'm not saying nothing to that nature. The weapon is for protection. Matthew 26 and 50. It's just for protection for you and your family for the first line of defense. But when it gets down to that major line of defense, you need the Most High. Alright? Because you know anytime in battle, the enemy puts his weakest people at the front line. Anytime you go battle, the enemy puts the weakest individuals in his crew on the first few lines. So when you take them out with your weapons, then guess who's going to be at the back? The gunslingers. The boys. Matthew 26 and 50. Go ahead.
We're in the book of St. Matthew, chapter 26, verse 50, and it says, And the Messiah said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on the Messiah and took him. Verse 51. And behold, one of them which were with the Messiah stretched out his hands and drew his sword, and struck a servant of the high priest, and smote off his ear. Then said the Messiah unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
So when they came in to take the Messiah down, it tells you right here that the disciple that was walking with the Messiah, when they came and took him down, took out his sword and came against the people that was taking down the Messiah, which is Peter. And the Most High looked at Peter, and the Messiah looked at Peter and says, Peter, no, put your sword back. All right? So you can't just be pulling your weapon out just because in any battle. You got to know when to use it. You got to use it at the right time. So the Messiah was basically telling Peter here, hey, this is my mission. My mission is for them to come take me. This is why I'm here. There's no reason to battle these people when you're outnumbered. Peter, you're outnumbered. All right? Put your sword back. You try to fight right now, they're going to kill you on the spot. It's my mission to get killed. Don't you die for me. That's basically what the Messiah was telling Peter here. But Peter had his sword ready to go. He had a weapon. That's the point of the story. The point of the story is that they were armed. They had their weapons, and they were ready to go for battle. And the moment they came to grab the Messiah, Peter was ready to go. One of him against 1,500, he didn't care. He was ready to go. But the Messiah says, no, be smart about it. Use it at the proper time. All right? So, now, if you want to win this battle that we're going to start facing here pretty soon, which is against Satan and his evil guys, you must keep the words of the Messiah at all times. At all times, you must keep the words of the Messiah. You must keep the spirit of Ruach, which is the Holy Spirit, and you must keep the hedge of the Most High with you at all times. Because now that we are in this battle, like I said, regardless if you want to be it or not, the government has brought this battle upon you. And this battle is about spiritual wickedness, is what we already read Ephesians 6:12. You keep the word of the Messiah at all times, the spirit of the Ruach, and the hedge of the Most High. If you don't have those three things, if you're not hedged up, if you don't have the spirit of the Ruach, and you're not in this Bible, you're going to lose. Because if you don't have those three things, Satan and his guys are coming. And Satan and his guys will take you down. And like I've been telling you guys for a long time, once you convert yourself over to the Most High and start following the words of the Messiah, and you leave Satan alone, Satan gets upset. And not only does he get upset, but he comes back after you full force. He comes back after you with him and his guys. See, before you find the Most High, it's just Satan. He don't need no help. He's like, hey, I got this idiot following me. Ha ha ha. But once you find the Most High and leave Satan alone, Satan comes after you with his army. And when they come in to take you down. Luke 11:21. So in order to withstand this battle, the wiles of the devil, in order to withstand the wiles of the devil, Ephesians 6:11, you have to keep the words of the Messiah, the spirit of Ruach, and the hedge of the Most High. That way when Satan and his guys do come, you'll be able to withstand it. Luke 11:21. Go ahead.
We're in the book of St. Luke, chapter 11, verse 21. And it reads, when a strong man armed keep his peace, his palace, his goods are in peace.
So it tells you when a strong man means a man that's in the word. He's strong enough to where he's in the word daily and he don't let Satan pull him out of his word. He don't let Satan pull it out of him. See, a weak man is somebody that tries to follow the word and try to follow the Most High, but then Satan keeps pulling them away. Strong man is armed and keeping his palace and his goods are at peace. His stuff is in peace. Everything around him is at peace. His household, his goods, nobody can come steal or take nothing from him because it's at peace. If you're someone that has things going on, people taking from you, stealing from you and stuff, that means something's not right. Verse 22.
Verse 22. But when a stronger than he shall come upon him and overcome him, he taketh from him all his armor wherein he trusted, and divide his spoil.
So, but when they stronger than he come upon him, so it's talking about Satan. So when Satan come upon him and overtake him, Satan will take from him all his armor wherein he trusted. So you got to remember, your armor, your whole armor of the Most High includes faith and all that stuff. So if you don't have the faith no more, you're not girded in these scriptures. It says a stronger man, which is Satan, is going to come and take everything that you believed in and start making you follow after him again. Verse 23.
Verse 23. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth.
So if you're not gathering under the name of the Messiah, you are against him and you are scattered. Go ahead.
When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and finding none. He saith, I will return into my house whence I came out. And when he cometh, he findeth it swept and garnished. Then goeth he, and taketh to him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself.
So it tells you when Satan comes, he's going to bring 7 other wicked spirits to help take you down. Once he comes and take the belief from you, he's going to come and bring 7 other wicked spirits to take you down. Go ahead.
And they entered in and dwelled there.
So now they're going to be in your house. They're going to be chilling. Every time you come in your house, wherever you go, them spirits, them 7 wicked spirits are going to be chilling. They're going to take over your place, your palace. Remember verse 21, we start off says, when a strong man armed keep it, his palace, his goods are in peace. But once your palace is not in peace, you're going to have Satan and these other spirits dwelling in your space. You're going to go to get in your bed, they're going to spirit. You're going to go to sit on your couch, they're going to one of them wicked spirits. Go ahead.
And the last state of that man is worse than the first.
All right. So it tells you, and the last state of that man is worse than the first. So you better off not even finding the Messiah. Because if you find the Messiah and then start doing wicked things and go backwards, these 7 spirits are going to come and take you down. So you was better off not even finding the Messiah in the first place. That's basically what that just said. Go up to verse 20. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Luke, St. Luke, chapter 11, verse 20. And it reads, but if I, with the finger of Ahia, cast out devils, no doubt the kingdom of Ahia is come upon you.
So it tells you that the Messiah will be able to cast these devils out. That's what those wicked spirits are. Those 7 wicked spirits is the devil and his gods. So Ahia says, hey, Yeshaya says, hey, as long as you stick with me, I can cast those devil spirits out. All right. Let's go to Luke 22 and 38. So you have to keep the words of the Messiah close to you at all times to be able to withstand the wiles of the devil. And at any given time, you seem somewhat feeble or weak, Satan's going to come take you down. He's already there, I'm telling you, you guys. Once you wake up to this truth, once you start making your sacrifices, giving things up, and start turning your life over to the Most High, Satan and these 7 spirits are waiting on you to slip. They're waiting on you to leave your door unlocked. They're waiting on you to leave, open the window up for the day and bring a breeze in, and then at nighttime you leave the window open. Here they come. They're waiting on you to not keep everything secure. That's why you got to keep that hedge. And the hedge has got to stay strong at all times, because if you don't have the hedge, they're coming. They're in. They're coming in. The moment they see one little gap, they're coming in. And now you say, hey, you was a righteous individual walking in the ways of the Most High. And then now you catch yourself doing wicked things. Things that you don't even realize you did it until hours later. You're like, hey, did I just do that? But it's too late because Satan is already in there. He's taking over. Luke 22 and 38. Go ahead.
When the book of St. Luke, chapter 22, verse 38. And it reads, and they said, power, behold, here are 2 swords. And he said unto them, it is enough.
So you can get two weapons. All right? You can get 2 weapons. And it won't be a problem. But don't go out, like I say, buying a whole arsenal and looking like Rambo. There's no reason to do that. You get enough to protect yourself. Alright? But you have to understand the weapons that you get is not for revenge also. It's just for protection. So like I said earlier, the weapon is not going to be to save you. It's just for protection. The weapon also is not for revenge. It's to save you. Romans 12 and 19. So don't get a weapon and now you're trying to use it for revenge. We don't battle with revenge. The Most High has us our back. When someone does something to you, you let the Most High handle that. He'll avenge it for you. We don't go around talking about, oh yeah, well that happened to me yesterday, so I'm gonna get him next time I see him. No, that's not the way we operate. Because when you start operating right there in that realm of the spirit, now you're sinning on and putting blood on your hands. Romans 12 and 19. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 19, and it reads, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Most High.
So the Most High says vengeance is his. He will repay anybody that does something bad to you. All right. So we're not to go out about, oh yeah, now I got a weapon, I got a gun, I got a knife or something. Man, no, somebody better not do nothing to me because I'm going to use it. That's not how we work. If somebody does something to you, you let the Most High take care of it. But now, if something comes to where now your family is in danger or you're in danger, then you got to take care of that situation. You ain't just let nobody come in and just rape your wife right in front of you. No, you're to take care of that. Handle that. All right? You ain't going to let nobody just come in and DDT your daughter. No, you're to take care of that. All right? But if someone came and broke in your house and did steal from you or something, you're not, oh yeah, I'm going to get that person back. Go shoot his house up. No, that's not how we work. All right? So we went into some information tonight just to show you, based off of what the government has up their sleeves, Obama and them, you guys, are close. Probably right now as we speaking. Because they like to do a lot of things on Friday evening when no one's paying attention. See, if they did something on Tuesday evening, then Wednesday morning everybody can be, it's breaking news. But if they do something Friday evening, it really won't hit the media until the next week because everybody's off on the weekend. You see how they work? So right now, they're probably passing it right now as we speak, Friday evening, when no one's paying attention and there's no media to break the news tomorrow. That's how slick they are, you guys. So I continue to give you this information so you can be prepared. That way when you start, I give you, the Spirit comes to me and say, give them the information, and then it's a sign. So now all you do is sit back and you wait for the signs. And when you start seeing these little signs that we're talking about, now you know it's here. So the moment you see on the news, Obama just passed a law that there are strict background checks now to get a gun and stuff. Now you're like, wow, we just talked about that. There it goes. It's about to happen. Okay? And that's all the Spirit does. The Spirit just comes in and gives you awareness on how to operate in these last days. That's why it's so important to continue to follow after the commandments and the laws of the Most High, because it gives you instructions and obedience on how to coordinate yourself in these last days. All right? So with that in mind, we'll say Shabbat Shalom and all praises to the Most High, and let's pray it out.